somebody called the ambulance for him, but I ran over there and he was already like turning colors, he was already dying. And so I wound up giving him CPR. When I was younger, my dad had me do training for CPR. So I went over there and I gave him CPR, and then like he threw up, and he came back to life. And it was like kind of a really disgusting thing, but it was something this person needed to live. So I gave him CPR, and then um that's where his part of the song, he was okay the next day I seen him, but they had injected him with something in his heart or something, and he was
Epinephrine.
like,
Epinephrine.
I seen him and I asked him how he's doing, and he's like, you should have let me die, because he felt like so horrible the next day because
Wow.
they had stabbed adrenaline or something into his heart. And so he felt like shit the next day, and he's like, you should have let me die.
Yeah.
But that's where I get like the kiss of death. The kiss of death we shared that day is from giving him CPR. I called it the kiss of death.
How does the song go? Tell us how the song goes.
Um, hatred, oh hatred, remember the kiss of death we shared that day. You had overdosed. I couldn't let you go out that way. So that's his part of it.
Yeah. What's the other part?
And then it says millions of needles booted up every day. Too many friends are dying, taking the main line way. And then there's another person at the end of the song whose name is Frenchie. And Frenchie used to hang out in Tompkins Square Park.
Yeah.
He was a roadie for a lot of the hardcore bands. He roadied for some of the hard. I'm not like a couple of the hardcore bands. He was a roadie for him. He was from Canada, I imagine, because he had on his head
Yeah.
"Made in Canada." He had tattooed on his head "Made in Canada."
Yeah.
and, and he was always in the park, and I don't know, somehow he would always be opposed to people doing any drugs, and somehow I don't know, he did them, and he overdosed, and he
Why
would
does
always say,
uh
when we would go into the park, he would always be drinking vodka, and he would be like, "You're LPR, you're LPR." He would always say that. He had like this really like gravelly voice.
what is
And
LPR?
he would say, "Last of the punk rockers." Last of
You
the
said that to
punk
you,
rockers.
Tony?
Huh?
You said that to you?
Yeah, me and my friend, he would be like, you guys are LPR." And so anyway, like his part of the song is Frenchie, oh Frenchie, how could you do another bag yesterday? Now you're gone and buried, and the park will never be the same.
Oh my.
Oi, oi, oi. So we throw in the ois for that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like heroin has. Why did people get into heroin?
Well, some people get into it to escape. Some people get into it because they were in an accident and decided that it helps them, it kills the pain, and then they wind up taking it for too long and get addicted. It really doesn't take long for people to get addicted to this stuff. I had studied to be a substance abuse counselor when I lived in New Mexico. So
Right.
um, I learned a lot about the book study of it, but not until I moved other places I learned more about what the street life of it is really like. And it's horrifying, it's terrifying, and I know a lot of people do it, and